in the world that we live in, there's so much to be, like you mentioned, emotions never end. There's so much to be emotional and have like this kind of constant back and forth about, I think inner peace, come back to Kendrick. Like one of the things I love is a line he talks about, like he just wants inner peace before he dies. Like inner peace is like one thing that, I think each of us should strive for.
Yeah.
I think it makes the people around us happier if we're also inner peace.
At peace with ourselves, yeah.
Exactly, but also makes the world better. How have you found your journey towards inner peace? How have you found that kind of path? How have you discovered it, lost it? Have you kind of discovered it again? What's that been like for you?
It's a journey, I think that's the biggest thing, is knowing that the journey to happiness, to peace, to love is it's a long one. It's not impossible, but it takes time. And I think we all just go through these phases, we go through waves, and we go through the seasons. So even now, do I feel like I've reached full peace? Probably not. But it's knowing that, I think the biggest thing is not feeling like peace is a destination. Is knowing that it's here with you. So even back to Kendrick, like the album I really like is Mr. Morale. And he quotes Eckhart Tolle. Like Eckhart Tolle is a big part of that album. And I've really been interested in his philosophy.
Shout out Eckhart.
Yeah.
New Earth is a great book.
I bought it recently, but I'm one of them people that, I'm one of them people that buys books and I'll start reading that.
You hold it, I'm like that too. Yeah. But you can't come back to it.
Yeah, but I've got his The Power of Now. I've read it a bit, and A New Earth as well. But just from watching like video analysis on Mr. Morale and listening to the album, I think that idea of the now and that peace and love and happiness is in the now has really made me think deeply. What was it that I saw recently that I think was it anxiety is of the future, depression is of the past, but happiness is in the now. All of that. And I think that kind of hit me, because anytime you get anxiety is because you're scared of what's going to happen in the future. Depression is staying in what's happened in the past and doubt, guilt of things that's happened. But happiness is in the now, being like, you know what, I'm present, like grounding yourself, like, look, I'm here right now. What do I have? Like, man has breath, I have goodness here, I can change things. Choosing to have that now is so important. And I like his what he says on the ego. Like the ego tries to identify with things and find things to distract itself and build on this idea of being strong and prideful. But I guess our journey as humans is transforming and removing the ego and really going with our soul and being present and not trying to put importance on material things. Absolutely. I think that's something that I've really been thinking about recently, is that, we all want to strive for happiness. And I think we think that happiness will come from when we make this amount of money, or we get this type of partner, we get this car, and we move out here and all these different things. But if you're not happy with how you are now, then how are you going to ever be happy? Like,
absolutely.
How are you going to be happy when you get these things?
Absolutely.
Because you're going to get these things and you're going to be like, what's next? And it's going to always be a
constant chase.
It's like chasing forever, right? It's always going to be a constant chase of thinking that getting this thing or getting to this checkpoint always is going to be the way you get happiness. Whereas it's like, once you get there, you're like, oh damn, I'm here now. Like, what next? Nice. I thought you live your whole life chasing this thing, and you finally get it, and you're like kind of empty.
And also on that like topic too, I feel like one of my biggest understanding as I've grown older is the idea of how to create my own world. That that I put peace at the forefront of it, and to create my own world, and to know that like no matter what happens in the outside, I can actually be okay. And you're mentioning about the journey towards kind of that is so important. That idea of like letting the ego, I have a lyric in one of my poems, and it's like letting go of the ego something about letting go of the ego. Forgetting it now. Forgetting it.
You're on the podcast, you start forgetting your lines, man. I was trying to recite the poem, and I'm like, I can't recite it. I can't even recite certain lines if I don't say it from the top.
Yeah, exactly. Killing the ego by learning something.
Yeah.
But my point was about like idea of like knowing that the ego identifies with things and wants to hold on to things, and by doing that, all it does is make me kind of be outside of myself. And then, like, you know, you have to really just kill the ego. And by killing the ego, you can expose yourself as who you are, but also you can change. You can connect with people. And like our society teaches us so much to hold on to things, to kind of consume things and to think things are ours, you know. And I think to kind of reverse engineer that and to go backwards and be like, actually, I don't associate with these things. These things are just transient.
Yeah.
All of it is transient. I think Eckhart definitely taught me that, you know, like listening to his kind of, you know, he's got like this meditation thing that he does, you know, listening to his meditations and, you know, kind of like, you know, listening to a lot of his talks, it kind of opens my eyes, and that whole kind of meditation kind of industry opened my eyes to like the idea of the soul outside the kind of the lived reality that we all live in, you know, and that kind of, you know, helped me towards peace, you know. Another thing that helped me towards that is that understanding faith. You know, I feel like faith was, to me, a massive thing. I know we talked about it before about like how most of the same. Well, I grew up in a very religious family, and as growing older, it's about finding my own relationship to that, rather than what was taught to me. And like that's been in like, okay, understanding what is truth and what do I relate with, and you know, and finding Christianity and finding Christ specifically through that, and like all that relationship and my journey with understanding his words and, you know, understanding the Bible and its way different meaning now that I'm older, you know, like lived experience made me actually understand some of the scriptures, you know. And I think that's been a fascinating journey for me. But what has your journey been like? I know you talk about peace and faith in your poetry, and also you kind of lean into peace in your clothing brand. But what's your journey been like with faith? Is that where it's come from? What's it been like?
Yeah. So